Does it say it's recording?
Yes.
Alright, here we go. So, oops, that's not it. Luckily you haven't turned it in, your grade's not there. There you go. Alright, so, personal finance project is going to be 4 parts. And this is kind of a review because I went over this yesterday with most of you. So your rubrics, somebody asked me for the rubrics yesterday. Okay, I forgot to tell you there are links right here. So if you were working alone, okay, there is your rubric for working alone. If you're an individual, single, okay. If you're a partner and you have one partner, there's your rubric for working a partner. It's -5 if you don't turn in your rubric. Okay, there it is right there. All you gotta do is attach it when you turn it in. Okay, all right. So yesterday I also assigned salaries to each of you to get you started on part 1. Your federal tax and how to calculate it, you have to do this yourself. Here, for Haley, that's for you. All you gotta do is click on it. When you click on it, it'll bring it up. You put in your salary. Kelsey, if you'll walk her through that. Okay? Your NC state income tax is here. Remember when you're doing this, you're using your total salary for both, right? Federal doesn't care if you paid state already, and state doesn't care if you paid federal already. You got to do your total salary for both of those. If you're working in partners, make sure you do your salaries separate from each other. I told you guys that yesterday, right? If you haven't gotten to that part, make sure you do it separate. All right, your budget sheet. Everyone should have a child. That is a requirement. You had to pick housing. So, Haley, all of these right here are options for housing. You choose one. I don't know if Kelsey has already done that for you guys. Okay, food, you'll choose one. Notice this says weekly, so you're going to spend this amount weekly, 4 times a month. Okay, somebody in 3rd period didn't catch that, so I want to make sure I pointed this out to you guys. Alright, when they say eating out, they're meaning you're like going to like Applebee's or Chili's or a nice steakhouse. They're not talking about McDonald's. Okay, alright. Let's see, transportation is up here. The bus pass gets paid on the 1st. Somebody asked me about that yesterday in 3rd period. It doesn't have a date that it's due. I don't know if any of you guys chose the bus pass. So this is due on the 1st. Everything else, I believe, says it's deducted from your account and say it's on the 1st, because you have to do that in your budget. So if it doesn't have a date, assume it's on the 1st. Okay? Alright, so you have to choose one of those, Haley. I think Kelsey has made some executive decisions because you won't hear unless she texts you. Health insurance, there are 2 examples. Water bill, there's 2. Electric, gas, there's 2. Child care, you must have at least 1 child and you get to pick the age. It can be older or younger. Okay. If you choose more children, that's okay. If you've got money, by all means, choose more children. Alright. The rest, Haley, were things that you got to choose from. So out of all these expenses, the cable bill, the cell phone bill, the house phone bill, and then all of these listed under other, you choose 3 of those. So they range from a pet to shopping to entertainment and so on. So if you want a maid, it's up here as well. You guys are going to choose 3 of those. Remember on the budget sheet, if you don't choose it, then you are going to make sure you just mark out that section or put NAs because it's not applicable to you. Okay? Alright. Part 2, remember you're making that pie chart. You can do it either hand-drawn or electronically on Google Classroom. If you want to submit this on Google Classroom, that's fine. Okay. There's a blank check template. You have to fill in the whole entire template. Your name, a fake address. Don't give me your real address. I can find that out on my own if I really want to. All right. Okay, that's fine. If you want to use the school address, that's fine. All right. Yes, sir.
Click on that tablet and I can't find one. Is it like?
You may have to print it out. It may be a PDF. Yep, it's a PDF. So you can actually open it with Word, if I'm not mistaken. With a Google Doc. There you go. And it should be able to be typed on it.
That's what my checks do.
Let's see if it's gonna let me back in. You can use a Google Doc or you can transfer a PDF to Word. If you download it as a PDF, you can convert it to Word. Up here. Yep, if you have a thing for editing PDFs, you can do that. Alright, part 3, remember, you guys are honors, so if you're working alone, you only have to do 6. If you're working with a partner, you have to do all 8. And these vary into researching a home, planning a vacation, doing a brochure, a federal tax return. If you're doing the credit card sample application, all you gotta do is hit sample application on Google and you can find a sample application. You're gonna make up like a social security number. Don't put your real social security number up there, okay? And you can make up a credit score and stuff like that. Everybody got that? You're not, that's not gonna be real life. I don't want you going through and applying for a credit card at your age, okay? They do have samples online, okay? And if you need help finding one of those, I can help you find one. Yes.
So like when I click on that link for the credit card, you have to read like a section and then answer those questions and afterwards. There's a application where you fill out already, so
Yeah.
just do that one.
Yeah, if there's a sample up there, you can, yeah. That's fine. Just make sure you're not putting in your real social security, okay?
Yeah, the social security is marked out.
Okay. The other stuff up here, when you're moving on to part 4, because I don't want to take all your time, it's just review. So Haley, this is probably the thing that everybody didn't like the most. You and Kelsey have to write this, and it's a page or 2, double spaced. So it's really like half a page to a page, single spaced. You're answering these 5 questions, and it's just talking about the challenges you faced when you made your budget. Based on your experience, how does the significance of education play into your financial stability? And how does this impact your family's level of basically income, discretionary or disposable? And those are 2 vocab words, so you have to know the difference. Going into it, how is this helpful to you once you become an independent adult, which you guys are coming up on pretty soon. June's only a couple months away, right? At this point. All right. And you have to go through, and then I put some common areas on losing points at the bottom. Do you have any questions, Haley? This is really big. There's links to everything. All the links work. Anybody have any questions? You ready to get started back with your partners?
So at the end, you want us to like print like a book basically?
Yep,
with
like
the
all your work.
content and everything?
All your work. Or you're going to have to submit it on Google Classroom.
We just submit it?
Okay. I put it up there for you. That way we can save trees. I've been thinking about it.
Good thinking, I like that.
Yeah, I like to save trees. And technically, it's really easier for me to grade it if it's on Google Classroom than if you submit it handwritten. So if you don't want to print it out, I told you yesterday you got to print it out. I've changed my mind.
You bet.
I want you to put it on Google Classroom if you want. You don't have to. If it's easier, Michelle's got this funny look on her face like, I don't like that idea. If you had rather print it out, it's fine, but make sure all your components are printed. You cannot turn in half and half. Does that make sense? So you can't turn in part 1 and part 2 online and then turn in part 3 and part 4 to meet and hand it out. It's all got to be together. You guys got me? All right, Cole.
So if we turn it in online, we don't gotta have like the table of contents and the title page and all that, and a portfolio?
No, 'cause it's all done separate.
So we don't
You'll
have-
probably have separate documents for each one of them. You can put it on one Google Doc, that's fine. If that makes your life easier, by all means, do one Google Doc.
Also, you know how like for like the groceries, like single adult
hmm
family, kids, that's the kind of thing.
So if you were by yourself and have a kid, that still counts as single. But if you have a partner, then you're gonna be married. Married, right, with a kid. Yes.
As far as food goes, the cheapest one you got is $450 a month. That's a whole lot of money to be spending on food.
Well, we go.
Yeah, we,
Yeah, but you have a kid, and kids eat a lot.
Yeah.
we gonna be eating rice and beans off a 1-burner chicken fryer.
Apparently we don't get Harris Teeter to shop. You can't go to Walmart, Liquor Lion, or
Yeah,
Kroger.
that was also interesting. All right, any questions? Concerns? You ready to work?
Well,
Yes, Esme.
So if you're single, you have to have at least one child.
That is a mandatory requirement. One child. You're either a single parent or you're a married couple with a kid. And you must have at least one. If you're a married couple with a kid, you're probably gonna find it a lot easier than a single parent. Right.
If you're a single father.
All right, are you ready? All right, please get with your partners. And at this time, I'm gonna allow you to work on your project.
Miss Hall. Miss Hall.
Remember, Google Docs is your friend, not Word document.
You don't use that.
I didn't know.
Oh, it's at 9?